Hi, hello, welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel. My name is Kate, also known as the Quirky Kate, and we're getting a little cozy today. We're getting a little cozy today. We've got my tracksuit on. I've got Leia, who's just wanting all the love and attention. Got myself it's actually a triple espresso latte. Delicious. We're gonna do a cozy reading vlog today because it's Sunday and I'm trying to avoid the Sunday scaries, and I have quite the beast of a book that needs to be read. I am currently reading A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. If you've been following along on my Instagram, I've been reading the entire series for the first time over the last couple of weeks, and I'm finally on the last book. So I'm excited about that. So I'm going to be reading this one. I have some other books that I'm wanting to read, which I did do a quick little haul on Instagram, but I will do a little haul now with you because I am on a massive reading haul. Massive reading haul. Is it Sarah J. Maas or Sarah J. Maas? Please let me know because I am notorious for mispronouncing authors' names. But since I'm on the kick, I picked up a copy of Crescent City, which I know is vastly different than A Court of Thorns and Roses series. However, I never read adult fantasy with the exception of like The Hobbit in high school until the A Court of Thorns and Roses series, and now I'm loving it. So I want to continue reading some Sarah J. Maas. And her second book in the series comes out next month, so I figured, you know what, if I'm already reading one giant book, why not add a second, right? It just seems like #goals. So I picked that up from Indigo the other night, and then because I'm like really trying to like continue this momentum of reading fantasy, I also picked up Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Sue Lynn Tan, which is like a duology for one thing. So it's the first in a duology. So I thought, you know what? I have a hard time committing to series, and that's one of my goals is to finish series that I've already started this year. So I didn't want to continue starting up more series, but I saw this and I saw that it was a duology, and I was like, Kate, you could definitely handle a duology. So I did. I picked it up, and it is described as an enchanting romantic duology that weaves ancient Chinese mythology into a sweeping adventure of immortals and magic, of loss and sacrifice, where love vies with honor, dreams are fraught with betrayal, and hope emerges triumphant. It just sounds so good. I feel like for me, what keeps me reading fantasy in like the current circumstance of me like diving into fantasy is the romance aspect. So yeah, I'm excited. Anyways, it's gonna be a fun reading week. I'm gonna pop in with some thoughts. I'm gonna keep things spoiler free, but just gonna keep it cozy. What am I on? I'm on chapter 8 of A Court of Silver Flames, and I'm really relating to Nesta's character. The thing is I really disliked Nesta in book 1, The A Court of Thorns and Roses. I thought she was really selfish. I thought she was really entitled. And I'm still getting those vibes in this book, but I think too, like it's a hard balance between recognizing what is her like previous self before, spoiler alert, she is turned into Fae. What is her like previous self being entitled and kind of being a bit selfish versus what is her struggling with everything that happened in A Court of Wings and Fury. It's hard. Yeah. So like I want to like just kind of write it off and say like, oh, she's being like a selfish little brat. But I think she's really like struggling. A lot of the content so far, or like a lot of the plot so far, is just her and Cassian, which I really like. And it's a lot of the building. It's like what's gonna happen next. Because obviously like if you've read the series, oh my god, sorry, my hand's getting so tired. If you've read the series and you've read A Court of Wings and Ruin, which is my favorite book so far of the series, like the war that they've kind of been like leading up to happened, and so now it's like the post-war
lull, but they're still preparing for the potential to be another war. So I don't know. I feel like I'm losing momentum with the series because A Court of Wings and Ruin was so good to me. And then I read A Court of Frost and Starlight, which I know was just like a cute little novella. I wasn't into it. And so like, I feel like I've kind of lost momentum with the story, and I'm not like, I don't know. I just turned my ceiling fan off, so it's just finally slowing down. So it's 7:30. I'm just about to hop into the shower, but I did some reading sprints. Erin from Booked and Busy was doing some reading sprints tonight, so I decided to join in with that, and I got some more pages done. So I'm now chapter 14, page 157, just under a quarter of the book done. So overall, I feel like a successful reading day. Gonna go take a shower, relax, and I might read a little bit tonight, but I don't think I'm gonna update you anymore today. So probably see you tomorrow. I'm not in a reading slump. I'm bored of reading A Court of Thorns and Roses because I went so hot into it. I'm gonna check and see if anyone's doing any reading sprints tonight. Maybe I can join in just so that I can like really focus. I can't believe Monday's already almost over, and I have a 4-day week. Bear's schedule switches over, so he has a 4-day weekend. So I decided to take a 4-day weekend. So I only work 4 days this week, which means I only have 3 more days left. Yay! I will update you when I update you. Oh, now you're quiet. There it is. Good morning. Oh, good morning to you too, Lay. She's so talkative in the morning. It is Tuesday. I'm so tired. I'm now on chapter 20, page 222 of A Court of Silver Flames. I'm slowly approaching that halfway mark, which is what I wanted to get to by Wednesday this week, so feeling good about that. I'm taking some time this morning before I start work to just read a chapter or two of my book, and then we're starting the day. So I have my latte, I'm in my cozies still, and we're gonna do this. I am so tired. Hi, hello, it's been a minute. I'm just on my lunch with work. Why can't I talk? I didn't update you much yesterday after the morning, and that is because it was a very busy day for work. So I didn't really get much like me time. I'll just throw you here. Apologies for that. I'm just heating up some leftover lasagna for lunch. Even though I didn't have time to update you yesterday, I still had optimal time to read, and so I did, and I got pretty far. My goal was to get to 50% by the middle of the week, and I'm just about there. So I am currently on page 33, chapter 33, page 354. I think, listen, I appreciate, I respect, I value, I acknowledge what this book series has done for me in terms of showing me that I enjoy fantasy. And I think, let me just do this because my arm is sore. And I think for me, what I needed the fantasy romance aspect for me to realize how much I do actually enjoy fantasy, because I stayed away from it for so long. And my husband, like, he's a very big fantasy reader right now. He's reading Stormlight Archives by Brandon Sanderson. And something like that to me appears overwhelming. And it appears like, I don't know, when I look at it, I feel like I don't want to read that. But hear me out. So I respect what this A Court of Thorns and Roses series has done for me, introducing me to adult fantasy, and romance was the gateway. I loved this series. I especially loved book 3, A Court of Wings and Ruin. And I think because of the action, I loved it so much. It wasn't really the romance aspect that I loved. It was a great added feature, and it kept me intrigued when some of the plot became a bit overwhelming for me. But this book, you guys, it's like all smut. And like, I enjoy a good smutty book. I do. I enjoy a good smutty book when it's like, sorry, that's snowplows. I enjoy a good smutty book when it's 300 pages, and I know that that's what I'm getting into when I want to read it. Like, I want to read smut, so I'm going to read a romancy smut book. But I think because A Court of Wings and Ruin was like so action-packed fantasy for me, I'm still on that like, yeah, I want like action. And I understand what's happening right now is they're setting up new plot for more action later, but this is just so smutty, and I don't hate it. Well, yeah, I don't hate it, but it's not what I'm looking for right now. There's just not a lot of plot other than like Nesta and Cassian constantly fantasizing about each other and then having sex. Well, they haven't even had sex. We're almost halfway through the book. They haven't had sex. They've done pretty much everything but at this point. I know that the following, the fandom, is so like ride or die. And don't get me wrong, I am a part of that fandom. I love this series. I love Cassian. I love Cassian. I love Nesta. I relate to Nesta so much in terms of like her trauma and the depression and the anxiety that you can definitely read within this book, but it's just not doing it for me. And at this point, I'm really just reading it to read it. I forgot what it's like to have short hair because my hair was so long for so long. And now that my hair is short and I don't style it, I remind myself of, I don't know, like someone that stuck their finger in an electrical socket or something. It's a look. It is Thursday. I am on chapter 43. So I have this much left to read. And I didn't think I would be finishing this book this week, but I have a feeling. I'm having a love-hate relationship with this book. I was saying this to Bear earlier. I was like really into it at the beginning. I was super excited because I was like, I loved the angst of Cassian and Nesta in book 3. And then it was like, there was a smidge of angst at the beginning of this book. Immediately went to just like straight up porn. I don't hate it. I don't dislike it. I don't love it. It's in between for me. So I was discussing this with my friend Kirsty on Instagram. What it was that I like wasn't really sure about, and why, you know, Sarah J. Maas felt the need to put so much sex into the book. And she put it into a really good perspective, which is that, spoilers, Nesta is dealing with trauma that is not just cauldron related when she was thrown into the cauldron. Yes, a lot of that has to do with the cauldron because there was a lack of consent. She was like thrown in and changed and made into this being that she did not have consent over. But before that, she had some sexual trauma. And so a lot of what's going on between her and Cassian is her healing from that and her owning her sexuality in a way that is consensual. And in every circumstance where you see Nesta and Cassian intimate in any which way, it is heavily consensual in both respects. And so that is why I think there is so much of it, is that she's owning her sexuality, she's healing, and I can respect that, but still, it's still like a lot. So I don't know. So I'm trying to be respectful of that, and I'm trying to understand that as I'm reading the book. And everyone that I've shared this with, because I've shared this on my stories, how much I'm like just wanting some action. They're telling me it's coming. So I'm hoping, you know, I'm nearly 3/4 through. I'm hoping that I'm going to be getting some action soon, and There is definitely a lot of like really good plot development, but I feel like this is certainly character heavy, which I wasn't expecting. And the point of view switch, like the fact that it's not in first person, it's in third person. It's a different book. So I'm adjusting, and there we have it. So I probably will finish this book this weekend and move on to another one. And Bear's whispering to me in the background. Yes, I would like a tea, please. I'll have peppermint.
What?
Peppermint, please. I have T-minus 1.5 hours left of work, and then I'm getting my eyebrows done tonight, so these will look fresh, and then we'll see where we go. I also need to figure out this hair because, oh my gosh, I look ridiculous. Hi, hello, good morning. It is Friday, and I have the day off. I've been lounging all morning, watching some YouTube and just like chilling with Bear. I have a busy day ahead of me. I'm gonna do some running around with Bear, and then I'm going to a friend's house for dinner tonight. So won't be doing much reading today, unfortunately. I have faith that I'm gonna make a significant dent in this book by Sunday. I think I updated you already. I may have already said this, but I am on chapter 43. Let me just check real quick. Yeah, I'm on chapter 43. So I've got quite a bit like read, which I'm impressed with. I did not think I would get this far through the book this week, so very happy with that. I'm excited to complete it and feel like I've finished the series thus far. I'm really excited to get into Crescent City, which I know it's not called Crescent City. I think it's called The House of Breath and Sky or something like that. I'm really excited to get into that, which I think I might do a reading vlog of me reading that as well. I feel like this entire weekly vlog is just me saying I'm going to read and then me saying I didn't end up reading. So if I read any more, I will update you. If I do not, I might update you because that seems to be the trend. But other than that, okay, bye. Yes, I am wearing the same outfit on a different day. It is Saturday, and I have gotten another chunk out of the book. I'm now on chapter 50, and I feel like I need to issue an apology. I've had a change of heart. I am actually really enjoying where this book has gone. I'm drawn into it now. I want to continue reading it, which this is the first time since I started the book that I'm like, oh, I just want to keep reading. And I think we're like 3/4 through now. So, I mean, that says nothing. This is like a 700-page book, so I still have like a couple hundred pages to go, but I'm finally enjoying this. I think this is a good sign. If you've read this book, can you please enlighten me as well? Because like, I'm definitely getting more perspective on it, but I don't know. Did you like this book in comparison to the other books? Did you not like this book in comparison to the other books? I'm curious. I'll get back to you. It is Sunday, so it's officially been a full week. I am not finished A Court of Silver Flames. I have probably a quarter left. I'm on chapter 53, so I'm on page 529 of 751. So we got a little ways to go. So I asked on Instagram whether or not I should just upload the vlog as it is, incompleted, but it's uploaded today, or wait to upload till later in the week and have it a complete vlog where I've finished A Court of Silver Flames. And about 3/4 of you guys said just upload it later and finish the book. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna stress about uploading or editing today. I'm going to sit and finish this book. Hopefully today, possibly tomorrow, which I'm off tomorrow anyways, so I'll be able to spend some time doing that. And then I will get it uploaded this week. So I will have this, well, obviously if you're watching it, it's uploaded, but I'm gonna probably edit it a little bit differently, so it just makes more sense. But there you go. So obviously I am going to finish this now. And then I will update you guys about all my thoughts and everything regarding all things A Court of Silver Flames. I am at a point in the book, I think I may have already said this, but I'll say it again just in case, where I'm like actually drawn into the book and they're doing more plot development in terms of what's likely to be their next like war or battle or whatever. So I'm intrigued, I'm into it, and I'm ready to get her done. Yeah, I'll update you once I've done a little bit more. All right, we've made it to part 4. Ataraxia. It has taken this long for me to get to a point where I'm really, really into this book. I've been into it since I think part 3. But yeah, the first half of the book was like not it for me, and it's slowly been getting better. So we are reaching a like pinnacle point, I think, of conflict, which that's my favorite part of action, like adventure books, is when the conflict kind of comes to a peak, because it just gets so interesting. I'm going to continue reading this, probably finish it, and then give you my thoughts as a whole, because I have a lot. I'm going to make this brief because I'm going to sit on it a little bit, I think, before I like sit down and talk it out. But I'm very surprised with how I feel about the book. I will leave it at that. I finished the book like 10 minutes ago, not even, and I'm just sitting and thinking about the whole story. And yeah, I think based on my previous thoughts throughout the entire book, it may come as a surprise when I say that I actually really did love this book, and I want to think about it a little bit more so I can articulate why I loved this book. So I'll sit down and I'll like do a full explanation in a bit. We're very chaotic today. The cats are running around everywhere. I have olive oil on my shirt from lunch that I just saw when I sat down, but I'm not willing to change my shirt. But we're gonna do this, okay? We're gonna make it brief. I finished this 2 days ago. I have sat on how I felt about it before I said anything, because I just wanted to make sure I was mulling it over. And let me tell you, I mulled it real hard. And my conclusion, I liked it. I did. I really liked it, actually. I had a change of heart. I changed my mind. I was ready to throw this to the wolves. I was ready to slander the name of the ACOTAR series. I'm kidding. I wasn't going to do that. But I wanted to table this book on more than one occasion, as you know. But I'm glad I pushed through, because within the last third of the book, it really all came together. And I think especially what helped was talking with some of my friends who had finished the book from both perspectives. I spoke with people who really disliked this book, and I spoke with people who actually really loved it. And I think it really gave me a bit more of a perspective as to why there was so much sex in the first like 2/3 of the book. I still think it was maybe a little bit too gratuitous, but I understand it. I understand the purpose, and I think I was more open to it after having that discussion with some of my friends. And I'm glad that I was open, because within that last third of the book, so much happened within Nesta's character that it was such a redemption story for her, and it was what she needed. And I think it allowed me to return to that feeling of connecting with her, because I felt like I connected with her in A Quarter of Wings and Ruin, the very small amount that we got from her in that book. And so I was really excited to start this book and feel connected to her, and I lost that connection. And so I think, having gone into it a bit more open-minded, I was able to really connect with her towards the end, and I felt so deeply for her, and I felt so emotional with her in some of those scenes. And by the end of it, I really loved this book. I really loved how Sarah J. Maas wrote her character, and how deep she went with her. And I especially loved the journey that she took her, that it wasn't just a linear path, which is how it is with mental health. It is not a linear, I'm not well and now I am well. It is very much this kind of path. And so I really respected how she wrote that, and the action that I was really, really wanting, I finally got in that last third. And so I think, having kind of changed my perspective of, this book wasn't intended to be a plot heavy book. It was meant to be more of a character driven book. It allowed me to enjoy it a lot more. So with that being said, I I would probably say I would give this 4.5 stars. I wouldn't say 5 stars because, again, I do think some of the sex scenes were a bit too gratuitous, but I would say 4.5 stars for sure. This was such a great read. This was so fun to read towards the end, and I'm really excited to see the next book in the series, and I hope we get to see more Nesta, although I know it's probably going to be Elaine, but I liked it. So there you have it. This was such a fun journey to go through. It was difficult at times, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm very thankful for you guys for supporting me in taking my time through this. I definitely want to do more of these. I want to do more like reading vlogs. I don't know if I want to do them like just focus on specific books. I think I want to read Crescent City, which I know it's not called Crescent City, but I want to read the Crescent City book before the second book comes out in February, and I do have it. So I might do a reading vlog for that. If you guys are interested, let me know in the comments down below. But I think I might just do like weekly reading vlogs and just like kind of upload them whenever. And I do get to do that on my stories on Instagram. I do talk about books on Instagram in my stories quite often, but I don't like going into much detail because I don't want to like bog people down if they're not really interested in watching it. Plus I can do spoilers, which I don't like doing on my stories either because I don't want people to have their books ruined. Anyways, I'm just rambling now. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already, you can join the community, and leave a comment down below letting me know if you've read this book. What are your thoughts? Were you a fan of it? Were you not so big of a fan of it? I feel like it's pretty down the middle as far as opinions. But yeah, until next time, goodbye.